A mysterious voice starts yapping about fate being unchangeable, but the protagonist claps back, saying that as long as people have free will, no prophecy can lock them in. This whole conversation basically sets the stage for the entire game's conflict. The crew pulls up to Hajing, the capital of Huaxu, right when the Grand Incense Rite is popping off. The city is a whole mood, packed with festival-exclusive snacks and ceremonial displays. It's a stark contrast to the protagonist, who is still feeling the after-effects of a major battle. The main character's memory suddenly goes on airplane mode. They remember their friend Snow and the journey so far, but everything after the big fight with Shu Yin is a total blur. Snow has a minor freakout, thinking her little minion has completely forgotten their friendship, which is super dramatic. They start spitballing reasons for the memory loss, and the main theory is that the protagonist got hit on the head with some debris during the last dragon fight. It makes sense, but something still feels off. Miss Jill suggests they visit a local pharmacy to see if they can get a fix. The festival is absolutely rammed with people, a real sea of humanity. They manage to snag a seat for the protagonist to chill and get some rest, since they're not feeling 100%. The vibes are immaculate, but that weird, unsettling feeling just will not go away for the protagonist. At Zan Pharmacy, the pharmacist is on another level. She accurately diagnoses the protagonist's condition just by looking at the herbs they brought. She adds an extra ingredient to the mix, something to calm and clear the mind. It is a little too convenient, giving off slightly suspicious energy. The protagonist chugs the super bitter tonic, and while the headache is gone, the weird, paranoid feeling sticks around. They try to gaslight themselves into believing it is just exhaustion from all their recent adventures, but deep down, they know something is not right. It is a classic case of ignoring the red flags. While chilling, they overhear some locals gossiping about the Hall of Adjudication. It's this super exclusive, sacred place with an unbeatable view, but you basically need a VIP pass to get in. The fear of missing out starts to hit the crew as they realize they can't just walk in. Just as they are bummed about the hall, Miss Jill comes in clutch with a solution. She just so happens to need a messenger to deliver some ritual items for the festival, right to the Hall of Adjudication. It is the perfect excuse for a side quest and a chance to do some sightseeing. Right before she dips, Miss Jill drops a super cryptic divination on the protagonist. She warns them to expect some wild, unanticipated events, but promises the reward will be worth the wait. It is a classic vague prophecy moment, leaving everyone more confused than before, but also kind of hyped. Their delivery quest begins at the port of Parting Stars, and their first task is to pick up a crate of premium silk. It sounds like a simple fetch quest, the kind of thing you would do to level up early in a game. But obviously it is not going to be that straightforward. Out of nowhere, a Wishin named Sala, who is full of chaotic energy, straight up steals their cargo, calling them mere mortals while he does it. This dude clearly lives for the drama and thrives on being the main character. Now, the crew has no choice but to chase him down. After a pretty wild goose chase, they finally manage to get the crate back from Sela, who just vanishes into thin air like it was nothing. He leaves them with their next destination, but they are completely lost. It is time to pull out the map and figure out where to go next. Hi there! If you want to enjoy more gaming lore without grinding for 60 hours, hit that subscribe button. I do the grinding so you don't have to. Your support really helps the channel. Their next stop is the Hall of Incense, where they immediately get called out for supposedly cutting in line. The situation gets even more dramatic when a girl's handmade sachet goes flying. This spirals into another mini side quest to retrieve it for her and clear up the misunderstanding. They successfully retrieve the sachet, and the girl apologizes for accusing them. With that little bit of drama sorted out, they finally get their hands on the Argent Incense, the second item on their delivery list. It is one more thing checked off before they can get to the main event. The Hall of Craft is a ghost town compared to the other places. After wandering around, they find the guy they are supposed to meet just lounging around. He has a whole life philosophy about the importance of not performing busyness and just chilling when the work is done. It is a relatable vibe. Suddenly, the bell at the Hall of Adjudication starts ringing, an event that is apparently super rare. The old craftsman tells them it's a signal that Lord Argent, the local god, is about to hold a special ancient trial. The plot thickens, and the timing is definitely not a coincidence. They get to the plaza in front of the hall and see a wanted poster. A notice announces that a swordsman named Kezhou is about to face a trial by disputation. They recognize him as someone they have met before, and now he is suddenly public enemy number one. Things are getting complicated. The protagonist feels an intense, unexplainable urge to save Kezhou. Seeing his face on the poster triggered a strange feeling, as if they have forgotten a super important memory connected to him. Snow, being a real one, immediately agrees to help. No questions asked, diving headfirst into the drama. Their new mission is to break into the Hall of Adjudication to save Kezhou, but the place is crawling with guards. A frontal assault is completely out of the question. The protagonist has a galaxy brain moment and comes up with a plan to use a mecha puppet as a diversion. They successfully sneak into the trial just in time to see Kezhou absolutely roasting Lord Argent. He is not holding back at all, calling out the god for the hypocrisy and flawed justice of the ruling 9 chapters. He is basically giving a divine being a piece of his mind on behalf of the people. Just as things are about to go south for Kezhou, the protagonist jumps in to save him. When Lord Argent attacks, a wild and mysterious power explodes from the protagonist, actually managing to wound the god. Everyone, including the protagonist, is completely shocked by this turn of events. After a chaotic escape, they finally get a moment to breathe and regroup. Kezhou formally introduces himself as a drifter, a member of a group that actively opposes the rule of the 9 chapters. He confesses that he intentionally turned himself in to force this confrontation with Lord Argent. Kezhou brings up a master plan that they all supposedly concocted at the Jian altar, but nobody, including him, can remember any of the details. This is a massive red flag for the protagonist, who finally accepts that their memory loss is not just from a bump on the head. They bump into a woman named Huaxu, who spills all the tea. She reveals that Miss Jill, whose real name is Zhiliu, has been manipulating them from the very beginning. The protagonist's memory loss and the strange prophecies are actually a form of hypnosis, all part of Zhiliu's grander scheme. A flashback sequence shows Zhiliu trapping the protagonist right after the big battle. She admits that her plan is already in motion and then implants the first of 3 prophecies into the protagonist's mind, using them as an unwitting pawn in her game against the gods of Huaxu. The protagonist's memory comes flooding back, and they realize the first prophecy, facing Lord Argent at the hall, has already come true. This confirms that Zhiliu has been expertly pulling the strings the entire time. The other 2 prophecies are still a complete mystery, adding a layer of suspense. With the city no longer safe for them, they decide to dip and hide out at the outer peaks, the secret stronghold of the Drifters. Kezhou assures them it is the most secure place they can be while they try to figure out Zhiliu's next move and how to break free from her influence. They arrive at the hideout and meet Sui, who Kezhou calls his great-aunt. They were expecting an old woman, but Sui is young and has a bit of an attitude. She initially gives them the cold shoulder, but it turns out to be a security test to make sure they are legit. Sui finally drops the act and reveals she already knows everything about them, having done her research. She's not just the quartermaster, she's a tech genius and the 17th generation heir to the Jishu sect. Impressed by their skills, she agrees to guide them into the main part of the hidden base. Inside the outer peaks, they finally reunite with Kezhou. The moment is immediately interrupted by Sui, who starts roasting him for all the chaos he caused back in the city. Their dynamic is hilarious and chaotic, with Kezhou trying his best to sweet-talk his way out of being grounded. The crew huddles up and forms a new game plan. Huaxu is going to head back into the city to research a way to break Zhiliu's hypnosis. Meanwhile, the protagonist, Snow, and Kezhou will lay low at the outer peaks, helping out with chores and getting to know the other drifters. While doing their chores around the base, they stumble upon two young drifters who are skipping their classes. Their big mission for the day is to try and catch a pesky bird that keeps messing up the herb garden. It is a cute, slice-of-life moment that provides a break from the high-stakes drama. They learn about the Tian-Law Veil, a super-advanced piece of technology created by the Jishu sect. This device is what keeps the outer peaks completely hidden from the surveillance of the 9 chapters, making it a crucial part of the Drifters' defense system and their ability to survive. They are introduced to Sister Han, one of the teachers at the base. She is worried about a young boy named Jipu, who has become consumed by his desire for revenge against the 9 chapters after they were responsible for the deaths of his parents. He has been training non-stop, and it's taking a toll. The protagonist spars with Jipu, easily defeating him to show him that his current path of blind rage is not the way. Afterward, Sui has a heart-to-heart with him, explaining that while it is important to remember the past, letting hatred consume him will only lead to his own destruction. Just as things seem to be settling down, the Outer Peaks' defenses are breached. The Tian-Law Veil has somehow failed, and the base is suddenly under a full-scale assault by magistrates. The Drifters' safe haven has been compromised, and they are forced to fight for their lives. The attack is being led by none other than Yuming, Kezhou's former comrade who defected to the magistrates. This turns the battle into a tense and deeply personal confrontation between two people who were once like brothers, forcing them to fight on opposite sides of a conflict they are both tied to. The Drifters are severely outmatched by the elite forces of the magistrates. As a desperate last resort, Sui decides to take the protagonist and venture into the Labyrinth of Yenin, an ancient and dangerous vault built by her ancestors in the hopes of finding a legendary weapon to even the odds. As they navigate the labyrinth, they discover a hidden chamber, confirming that the place is filled with ancient secrets and lost technology. Their first major task is to locate a series of mechanical orbs, which seem to be the keys to unlocking the path forward and revealing the vault's true purpose. They find a crucial artifact called the Mechanical Nexus. This device has the power to activate other ancient Jishu constructs, making it the key to solving the complex puzzles that guard the labyrinth's inner sanctum. It is a major breakthrough in their quest for the legendary weapon. Using the Nexus, they solve a massive, intricate puzzle involving a series of floating slates, rearranging them into a new path. The sheer scale and ingenuity of the puzzle put the incredible craftsmanship and advanced knowledge of the ancient Kezhou sect on full display, showing how powerful they once were. As they delve deeper, Sui shares the history of her sect and the tragic Battle of Xilu. This conflict led to the downfall of the Kezhou and the rise of the corrupt 9 chapters. The labyrinth itself was built in the aftermath of this battle as a final repository for their knowledge. They come across a stone stele that perfectly matches the half of a jade pendant that Lord Argent dropped during their earlier fight. This is a huge confirmation that they are on the right path and getting closer to the legendary weapon they have been searching for this whole time. They have finally found it, the Heaven-Wrought Cannon. After successfully activating the ancient superweapon, it emerges onto the battlefield outside. With their new firepower, they are ready to rain down destruction on the attacking magistrates and finally turn the tide of the battle in their favor. Just as they start celebrating their victory, the magistrates unexpectedly retreat. The protagonist's head begins to hurt again as they realize the horrible truth. The attack was the fulfillment of Zhiliu's second prophecy. The whole battle was just a feint to draw the city's guards away from her real target. A flashback reveals another confrontation with Zhiliu, where she lays out her master plan. Her true goal is to cast down the gods of Huaxu. She plans to achieve this by sacrificing her own life to power up the sealed god Doing, orchestrating a battle where the 2 gods will destroy each other. Zhiliu's plan is revealed to be even more insane. She has performed an ancient rite to bind her life to the sealed god Doing. She will feed him her own life force to restore his power, and when he and Tai Hao are weakened from their fight, the protagonist is supposed to kill her. Back in the present, Huaxu returns, and the protagonist explains Zhiliu's entire convoluted plan. Meanwhile, the city has descended into chaos, as the 2 gods, Tai Hao and Doing, have started their destructive battle in the skies above, threatening to destroy everything in their path. The group gets into a heated argument about what to do next. One of the drifters, driven by fear, blames the protagonist for their base being exposed, but Sui fiercely defends them, shutting down the accusation and reminding everyone that they are all on the same side in this fight. The protagonist makes the difficult decision to leave the Outer Peaks. They now know that Zhiliu placed a magical mark on them that led the 9 chapters straight to the base. To protect the drifters from further attacks, they must go and confront Zhiliu on their own terms. Before leaving, the protagonist finds Kezhou brooding alone. He finally opens up about his tragic past, revealing that his younger sister, Busha, was afflicted by a condition called deterioration that turned her into a monster. His brother, Yuming, was forced to kill her, and this event is what tore them apart. With a newfound sense of resolve, Kezhou agrees to join the protagonist. Soon after, Huaxu returns with the lead. The last heir of the Wuan sect, which is Zhiliu's own sect, is living in a nearby village. They decide to go there, hoping to find a way to finally break Zhiliu's hypnosis. They meet Hermit Jingguan, who turns out to be Zhiliu's old master. She reveals that she was already expecting them and agrees to help lift the curse from the protagonist. But before she does, she insists on telling them a story that will explain everything about Zhiliu's motivations. The story is about Zhiliu's childhood trauma. She was trapped in a cave-in and saved by a man who had to kill an attacker to protect her. However, the 9 chapters executed this man for breaking their law against killing. Kezhou is shocked to realize that this hero was his own father. With the hermit's help, the protagonist's memories are fully restored, and the chilling final prophecy is revealed. Zhiliu plans to sacrifice herself at the Taishu mausoleum, forcing the gods to destroy each other. The protagonist's intended role in this plan is to kill Zhiliu at the end. The scene cuts to the mausoleum, where Zhiliu is confronting the highest-ranking members of the 9 chapters. She boldly declares her intention to end their reign, arguing that their divine protection has ultimately made humanity weak, complacent, and unable to fend for itself against real threats. The core of the 9 chapters, a mysterious collective consciousness formed from past leaders, reveals itself. It acknowledges Zhiliu's power and offers her a place among them, a chance to shape the world from within. She flatly refuses, remaining committed to her goal of ending the Age of Gods entirely. Back with the crew, Hermit Jingwen explains the full history of the gods and the 9 chapters. She reveals that the key to restoring balance is an artifact called the Jade of Equilibrium. In a twist of fate, the protagonist has been carrying the missing half of the Jade this entire time. The city is in absolute chaos, with the gods' enforcers, the Bion, attacking civilians indiscriminately. Kezhou and the rest of the crew jump into the fray to help, but they find that the people of Huaxu are so indoctrinated by the 9 chapters' laws that they are too scared to fight back. Sui and the other drifters arrive with a cache of weapons, urging the citizens to take up arms and defend themselves. Initially, everyone is hesitant, but a young mother bravely takes a crossbow to protect her child. Her courage inspires others, and soon the people begin to fight back. On their way to the top of the mausoleum, they encounter Kezhou facing off against Yuming one last time. Kezhou, now with a new and more nuanced perspective, declares that his goal is not just to tear down the old system, but also to help build a new one where people can protect themselves. The protagonist finally reaches Zhiliu at the core of the ritual. Instead of following her plan and killing her, they use their resonance power, amplified by the now complete Jade of Equilibrium, to sever Zhiliu's connection to the sacrificial rite and restore balance to the system. The spirits of the 2 founders of the 9 chapters appear before them. They acknowledge the flaws that had corrupted their creation and agree to restore the system to its original purpose, a perfect balance between divine law and the will of the people, where both have a voice. With the crisis finally averted, the main characters gather to reflect on the insane events that just transpired. Kezhou and Yuming reconcile, agreeing to work together to handle the aftermath and help rebuild. The future of Huaxu is uncertain, but hopeful for the first time in a long time. In the final scene, the protagonist finds a remorseful Zhiliu at the grave of Kezhou's father. The protagonist offers her forgiveness and encourages her to stop carrying the world's burdens alone, to trust others, and to treasure her own life. They part on good terms, ready to face the new future. Gaming lore is long and confusing, but I break it down every week. Subscribe so you never miss a plot twist or hidden detail. Thanks for watching.